How's it going, everyone? Cole from Raised Dry Fishing here. Glad you could join me out here doing a little casting practice. Got my bait casting rod, got my spinning rod. Today I'm going to teach you some fundamentals on how to cast these suckers. Alright, so let's get going. Now I just got to figure out how to reel them back in. Alright, so now that I got one rod in my hand, be able to manage this a little bit better. First one I'm going to talk about is the spinning rod, spinning reel. This is what most of you guys are going to be starting with. This is what I fished with for the longest time. I just recently switched to a bait caster. These are simple to manage. My only recommendation is that when you do start using it, it's not like this, okay? Not like this. Bad. No. Okay? Use it the right way, just like that. Alright. So the first thing you really gotta realize here are the parts you're gonna need to be dealing with. You got your bail right here that you flip open and flip close, okay? Bring it up a little closer to you. So you got your bail that you flip open and flip close, okay? And you got your drag. So to set your drag, you know, lefty loosey, righty tighty, you want to pull on it a little bit. You see it coming out, you hear it, okay? You want to set it just enough so you can pull it out without, you know, breaking the line, and that's a good way to set it. If you need to tighten it or loosen it or anything like that, just turn the knob and just keep pulling it to test it out, and then, you know, fix it the way you need to when the time comes. All right, so to cast this reel, it's real easy. You want to grip the pole just like this. You can put the reel between any finger you want. It makes you feel comfortable. I feel like I got more leverage when I put more fingers in front of the reel, so I grip it like this. I'm going to make sure the line is up towards the top of the pole. You're going to grab that with your index finger, okay, and pinch it against the reel like this. And then you're going to want to open your bail just like that. Okay, so you got a little bit of slack here. Just let your finger go, but keep it on the line. Keep it tight like this, because if you throw it and it's got any kind of slack, you're going to end up with some bird's nests. You're going to have some issues. Okay. So right now, if you can see, the lure I have on is my jig. It's hanging quite a bit off, so I'm just going to reel it up. You know, put about 8 inches to a foot from your rod tip there, and then. If your line is hanging towards the bottom of the reel, no worries, just push it up a bit so it's towards the top, and you'll be able to grab it like that. So you're going to open your bail, you're going to let the line go taut, and then all you're going to do from there, just going to cast it, okay? So you're going to bring it back over your head, or sideways, however you want to do it, holding that line, okay? And then when you bring it forward, at the right time, if it's your first time doing it, you're just going to have to work on timing. You're going to let that line go. Now, the awesome part with a spinning rod as opposed to a casting rod is that you don't have to control that line anymore, okay? It's gonna go out. It's gonna, when it hits the water or hits wherever the lure hits, it's gonna stop. It's not gonna give you a backlash, okay? And it's just gonna hang there, okay? Just like that. Okay, the bail's open, the line's loose. I can pull it out if I want to, and it just stays there the way it needs to. Okay, so when you're like this, the lure gets where you want it to go. You want it to sit on the bottom for a little bit. You can feed it out a bit more, okay, if you need to. And then when you're ready to start reeling, close the bail. Okay, you can either close it by closing it like I just did, or a lot of reels. You just turn the reel, and it closes it for you. Okay, so as you see, I still have a lot of slack. You know, this is just because I'm casting in the yard, but for some reason, if you're dealing with something where you still have a lot of slack after the cast, make sure you grab a hold of that line and start reeling it in. Because if I reel it in like this, odds are it's going to reel in loose. You're going to get that loose line on the reel, and you're going to end up causing yourself some problems with some casts later. So just grab that line, reel it till it's tight, and then you can let it go. Okay, you just reel in from there. Okay, all right. Getting caught in the grass. Okay, so that's the basics of a spinning reel. Let me switch gears real quick. Let me grab my casting reel. Okay, working with the Piscifun Turrent right now. It's a 7:1:1 ratio. Been using it for a few weeks. Absolutely love it. Shout out to Piscifun for their affordable products that are really nice. So alright, so for this reel and rod, do not use it like that. If you can figure out how to use it like that without breaking anything, I'll be impressed. Never seen it used like this before, but just like the other one, I'm showing you the proper way to use it. It goes above the rod. The other one goes below the rod. This one goes above the rod. Okay? Alright, so a couple different parts to this reel. A couple more parts than the spinning reel. So I'm going to show you here. So over here, you got this spur looking thing. That's where the drag's at. Okay? So when you're going to want to adjust the drag, just grab it and turn it clockwise. You can hear it click, or counterclockwise, where you can tighten it or loosen it, and you test it the same way. You pull it out. You know, if it's too tight, it looks like mine's a little tight. Okay, there we go. Alright, looks like I got some loose line here, so I'm going to let that go so I don't bird's nest here in a minute while I'm showing you guys how to use it. Alright, so you got your drag there. There's a knob right behind the drag on this reel. It might be in a different spot on your other reels, but there's a knob right here. That's the cast control knob. I'll show you how to use that in a minute. Okay. Over here you got another tuner. This one is different from other reels, but this one's on the outside. Other reels you may have to open up this side cover and the magnets will be on the inside, but this is the magnet control knob, so it controls your magnets. So when you use your cast control knob and the magnet control knob in conjunction with each other, it determines how quick and how smooth your line comes out of your reel. And the benefit of that is changing it from a light lure to a heavy lure, and changing your brakes and changing your controls. You're going to be able to get consistent casting. So I should be able to throw a weightless Texas rig, throw a Texas rig, and then go and throw on a half-ounce spinner and adjust my magnets and my control, and I should be able to have the same cast flow. So nothing's going to change. Okay, and that's a benefit, a big benefit of having a bait caster to a spinning reel. So the way you use that. Okay, first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to turn my magnets all the way down to 0, just like that. Okay. Next thing I'm going to do is see my lure here. I'm going to reel all the way up, a couple inches away from the tip of my rod. I'm going to let the line go, but I'm going to hold on to it. Okay. Now I'm just going to let it go. Okay. So if you saw that dropped really fast. Okay. Can't show you the ground right now because where the camera's pointed, but that dropped really fast. What you really want it to do is drop quick, but slow enough to when it hits the ground, the line stops coming out of the reel. And what that's going to do is it's going to simulate when the lure hits the water that the line stops coming out of the reel, because with using a bait caster, as I'm going to show you in a minute, when you cast, you want to keep your thumb on the line, and as soon as that lure hits something, water, branch, whatever, you're going to want to stop the line again with your thumb, because if you don't, the line's just going to get carried out. Unlike a casting rod or a spinning rod reel, the line's just going to keep coming out, and you get bird's nest and you get a whole bunch of trouble. So this helps it. So when it stops and hits something, as long as it doesn't have a ton of momentum behind it, the line will stop as well. So that was dropping a little too quick with this this jig and trailer I got on. So I'm going to tighten up that knob just a bit, drop it some more. Still dropping a little too quick. You're just going to have to experiment with your tightness on these lures. So right there, I'm not even holding the line. See, that's how tight it is. So I'll tighten it to that point and just ever so slightly loosen it until I see it start to drop. There you go. Started dropping. Tighten it back up a bit more. Still dropping a little too quick. Alright, there you go. So ever so softly hit the ground there. So now that I got that set, I'm going to come back to my magnets here. Show you my magnets there. It's all the way down to 0. I'm going to turn that halfway up and turn it up to 5. Okay? And then this. So the setup that I just showed you should mitigate a lot of trouble with backlashes and bird's nests and stuff like that. And you're just going to have to mess around with it a bit. I know my brother, Derek, he'll do the same process, but he'll like to loosen it up just a little bit, which I wouldn't recommend doing until you're comfortable with working a casting reel. But he'll loosen it up just a little bit so he gets a little faster cast. And I might start doing that too. You know, faster cast means more lures in the water, means more chances to catch fish, right? So you can do that. All right. So to get down to casting it, you got a button here. That's your release button. And then around your line, you're going to want to put your thumb on it, okay? Hold your thumb on that line, okay? And then with the middle of your thumb, you press down on the button. It'll click. It'll stay down with your thumb on that line. So it's going to be like this, okay? It's down, but my thumb's on that line. If I let my thumb off that line, the lure's going to drop. The line's going to go out, your cast is going to stink, your backlash, yeah, it's a bad deal. So keep your thumb on that line, okay? And then when you go to overhand cast, roll cast, flip, whatever you want to do, and we're going to talk about all those casting types in a later video, teach you how to practice them, teach you how to be efficient with them. So now you got your thumb on the line, you got your button pressed, you're just going to overhand cast or side cast, whatever you want to do, and let your thumb go on the timing. So it's kind of like the spinning rod. When you let your finger off the line, you're just gonna have to mess with the timing because it's a little different. Okay, so whenever you want that lure to go, you're just gonna let your thumb off the line, and then you're gonna pay attention, because whenever your thumb or whenever your lure hits the water, or if you know it hits a tree or anything to make that lure stop, you're gonna put your thumb back on that line without it getting backlashed. So it's gonna look a little bit like this. Okay, so I let it go, let it float, and I put my thumb back on the line. Okay, and then to raise the button back up to stop it, you just turn your reel there. Okay, so I'm going to show you one more time here. Okay, so thumb on the line, button pressed, let go of the button, stop the button, or let go of the line, stop the line. Okay, just like that. Now it sounds simple, but make sure you go out in your backyards or whatever and practice, because if your first time using this reel is out on the water and you do something wrong, you could spend 45 minutes fixing the line, cutting it all off, putting new line back on. It could ruin your fishing day. So make sure you practice. Okay. So I want to thank you for watching the video. You can find us Razor Rap Fishing on Facebook. We got our channel on YouTube. Obviously you're watching it. If you liked anything on here, you want to keep getting great content, go ahead and hit subscribe. Hit the bell right next to the subscribe button to get notifications when we release new videos. If you have anything to add to this video, if you liked it, if you didn't like it, if you want to learn something different, or give some more advice pertaining to this information to the rest of the viewers, go ahead and comment below. If you're on your phone, in order to comment,
you're gonna have to scroll all the way down past the recommended videos, and that's where the comment section is. Thanks again for watching. Hope you guys catch a big one. Razor Eye Fishing.